Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of League of Legends, in my opinion. Yeah, so let's get underway. So my first con, I'm going to go with the cons first because everyone likes the bad before the good. So dynamic queue. The new dynamic queue really bothers me. It takes way too long to get into a queue. Now I have to keep resetting. Yesterday I had to close League of Legends and then come back into it, and then immediately I got in. That shouldn't happen. It's been an ongoing thing since they released dynamic queue earlier this year. Yeah, it just takes way too long. I think that's all I can really say about it, is that it just takes way too long. And for someone like me who's in silver and is trying to climb, well, I mean anyone is trying to climb, but I'm trying to get better and it's making it difficult. Like, I stream for 5 hours a day sometimes more actually, and I can only get about 3 to 4 games in sometimes because the queues are so long. And it's a bit ridiculous. I hope they figure something out soon. I heard that they were doing a solo queue thing soon, so I hope they do something about that. Anyway, on to the next one. This is quite a popular one that has been in League of Legends since forever, but I tend to play champions that are not the meta. Vel'Koz, Kog'Maw, Volibear, though they are now. Malzahar, as you guys know, a bunch of other stuff. Like I've even played Ezreal jungle, at times, right? The problem is that whenever you do this kind of thing, the community gets really mad at you. The team just doesn't want to hear it. They get really upset. Now, if that happens, I'd rather just leave. I want to play this champion in the jungle, but they're not allowing me to. I would have played it in a normal game and I would have seen, oh, this has potential, so then I would have gone into a ranked game to try and do it. But I'd always get shit on because of it. If somebody wants to do an off-meta pick in the jungle or anywhere, I'll be like, sure, go ahead, man. Right? Because I've always tried different things. Like, I've been a Vel'Koz main since he came out, pretty much. And Malzahar as well, though Malzahar is he's always been in the meta kind of because he's such a strong pusher. But when Kog'Maw jungle came out, well, when Kog'Maw had his how deep is that fucking hole? Okay, it has stopped the recording there because we had some drilling from our neighbours. You may hear some banging though because I think he's using a hammer right now. Yep. So what I was talking about was off meta picks. When Kog'Maw had his attack speed changed from his Q to his W, I was seeing a lot of chatter about maybe potentially seeing him in the jungle. So I was like, okay, I'll try that out. So I tried it out and it was fucking amazing. Like, even if you do badly, you will always come up ahead because as soon as you built that Rage Blade, right, with the Devourer, it's just game over for anybody. Like, you can 1v1 anyone, right? As long as you have a distance first, right, you can 1v1 anyone because they have to come towards you and you just slow them as they're coming towards you, right? The only problem is that you have a bit of a problem with people that have instant dashes and stuff. But even then, I was having a real good time with it. But the problem was that even though I would win games with this and I'd get crazy damage and stuff, right, I'd still get people complaining about it when I just picked it. Even if I suggested it. In fact, it was banned out in most situations when I suggested it. And it's just ridiculous, This we're meant to evolve in this game, we're meant to make new things. I'm trying to, just like anybody else, I'm trying to climb. Right, and these people are too busy trying to stick to what's in the LCS, right? And what do you know? As soon, right, as these champions, Kog'Maw, Vel'Koz, which Faker just played in the finals, right? And by the way, Monte Cristo once said was the worst champion in mid lane. I just want to point that out, right? I've always been a bit salty about that because I don't consider Vel'Koz a shitty champion, and you guys know that. You've seen me play him. Malzahar, Orianna, though Orianna's always been in the meta because of her CC and damage. And even Ezreal jungle I've played, TF jungle, Janna jungle at one time, but that didn't go very well. I didn't do that in the ranked though. It's just getting a bit ridiculous. I don't know what they can do about it, but I'm just getting a bit fed up of being banned out when I want to play these off-meta picks that I think would fit into the teams that we've got. Yeah, that's all I can really say about that, because it's nothing I can really do to change it other than nothing I can do. Other than maybe, they can kick me out. Kick me out of the team if they don't want me in there, and then don't give me a penalty. Right? Just let me go into another, because obviously they don't want to play with me, so that's fine. Just let me go into another team. Right? The next subject for cons is the difficulty of silver. Since dynamic queue, the difficulty of silver has been crazy huge. I'm not going to listen to anyone that says otherwise. Right? I went on an 8 to 10 winning streak after the placements. I went on a 10 winning streak after the placements, right? And by the way, I went 6-4 in my placements, which is also another reason why placements are complete bullshit. And then straight after that, I went on a 16 to 17 losing streak. I did well in my team. I am not a flamer. I am pretty chill. I'm chill in the games. I try and get the team together to do shit, and if they don't agree with it, then I'll just mute them. I've started to just mute people straight at the beginning of the game because I just want to concentrate and focus on trying to carry and win the game. Yeah, most people are they're too concerned with what they've seen the pro players play, and then they try and build what they play. But there's a reason why they're pro players and we are not. You build what you're best with, which is why I play Volibear, Malzahar, Vel'Koz, and do well, or Udyr, Vi, whatever. It's and the difficulty since last year. I mean, I've been gold 3 seasons in a row. What I tend to do, which is another problem, is that I tend to wait until the end of the season, and then I will boost myself up at the end of the season to gold. Okay? Because I want that reward. But then I just keep it there. Because I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't really mind about the reward. Though this year is different. Right? But I don't really mind about the reward going high. I just want that skin. I just want that banner of saying I'm gold. This year, I could do it in a week. But this year has been crazy. I mean, it's been, 2 months now since it's been live. Almost 2 full months since the new ranked has been live. And I've actually gone down. I'm in silver 4. And I played almost every day. And I think I've got better at the game. I think I've got better. It's embarrassing to say, but I've got 5,000 games in 5,000 games in League of Legends combined, and I've got all the champions, and I've got over 100k IP now, right? And I'm in silver 4, and I can't climb my way back up. And there's a common problem, right? Which is I tend to do quite well at the beginning, or even if I don't do well, I know what to do to win, right? And I try it, right? But then you'll get your team that just goes completely ballistic, right, once you give a suggestion, and it completely throws it for everybody, right? Everybody in the team. You'll get one guy that's just been completely silent, right, and then everybody else just goes off on a rant, and I'll just carry on trying to split, right? Then I'll go back and defend, split, go back and defend, split, right? But the thing is because they're arguing between themselves, right, they fuck up. Right, they may be platinum, they may have been platinum last season, but their typing is causing them to lose the game, right? And that's a top problem, and it's making silver so difficult, right? I think doing the thing that I've been doing recently, which is muting everybody at the beginning of the game, is probably a good thing. I don't have anything personal against people. against these people. But you know, some people can just say some really silly things, you know, that just, and then it escalates, right? And if I have everybody muted, it means that I'm focusing purely on the game, not on what they're saying, and I'm focusing on their pings, not on what they're saying, you know, because I mean, it's, you know, it just in this week alone, I've been told to die of cancer 3 times, and something your mum, you know. It's just play the fucking game, you know. We're here to have fun. I play the game to have fun, and it's made really difficult with these people. Anyway, so that's that one over. So the next subject is one that isn't spoken about much, and that's champion select notifications. Now, when I'm streaming, I like to interact with the viewers, quite a lot, and sometimes, you know, I miss the notification because it sounds like all the rest of the notifications. You know, the override from getting a game is fine, right? I always accept that, right? It's the banning and it's the picking of the champions, right? Because I have 2 monitors, so I'll be looking at it over here. I won't be in another game or anything. I won't be like in Hearthstone, you know, or anything, right? But I'll be looking over here, right? Looking at my, you know, trying to chat with everybody, right? While I'm waiting for this champion set, because it's so fucking long, as I've said, and it just, you know, it just goes because I didn't see it, because all the notifications sound the bloody same, right? Make everything override, right? So, you know, it just gives me like a notification or something. It's your turn, right? Instead of just giving like a little message at the top saying it's your turn to man, right? It doesn't. If I'm not looking at the client, yeah, it's my fault. But I've also got, you know, I also like to interact with people while it's happening, because this queue is so long. I never had this problem with the previous queue, but because this queue is so long, it takes, you know, you start to lose interest and you start to wander off, right? And you know, they need to do something about that. Make louder notifications, make a override so it just pops up, say, hey, it's your turn, you know, whatever, because that's been a real problem with me. Anyway, next one. This is actually not so much a combo, it's a suggestion, is swapping out jungle items later in the game, right, for free, right? Now, I understand why they changed it last season, because they changed it so you couldn't, because beforehand you could swap jungle items freely right at the beginning of the game. So what people would do is they start with Ranger's Trailblazer, right, to get the sustain, and then they switch to Stalkers, right? Which is, you know, I understood why they changed it. It was pretty strong, and everybody was doing it, right? And sometimes I do love the versatility right now, but sometimes, you know, it can get to a point where you're carrying the game at early game, but your team cannot carry, right? So you have to do something. You have to become the tank, or you have to become the damage, you know, if it's just the other way around, right? So it'd be nice to swap from, say, a Juggernaut to a Warrior, or a Warrior to a Juggernaut, you know, or Cinderhulk, whatever it's called. It'd be good to do that later on in the game, say after 25 minutes. I don't know, it could be a silly suggestion. Let me know what you think. The next 2 are my biggest gripes about the game. Flash. Now, Flash has been in the game since I can remember. I've played since season 1. I can't remember what year that was. Was that 2011, 2010, 2011, or was it 2009? Jesus. Anyway, so I've played since then, and I'm still shit at the game, right? But Flash has always been a staple. Now, Riot have always been of the opinion that they don't like enforcing a meta, right? Or they don't like it when people are using the same thing over and over again, right? Which is why they got rid of things like Heart of Gold rip. And you know, Shiroyu's Reverie rip, you know, just a bunch of other stuff, you know. But Flash is still in the game. I think the only thing that's changed, the only thing they've nerfed about it, is that you cannot jump as far now. And they changed that like 2 years ago, right, with it. But you could, you know, it's still a get out of jail free card, and I don't think it should be. Like, it makes the game easy, you know. It makes the game easier. You know, say if a team at this level, say they've just spent like 2 minutes trying to set up a gank, right, or a minute trying to set up a gank, right, and you know their jungler comes over. I mean, I know this is all circumstantial, right, but It's just that their jungler comes in and then all they have to do is just, flash out, right? There's no skill involved with that. You know, there's no skill involved. It's just, I'll just flash out. I just find this wall and I flash over it. I hate using flash. I hate using it, and I have to use it because everyone else does. You won't find a game where nobody doesn't use flash, right? And that's bad. I don't think that's good, right, for the game. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they can change it somehow so it get, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a game balancer, right? But I just hate seeing flash constantly in games. And as a main jungler, right, I hate setting up something, right, for it to be thwarted by a flash and then having to just go back again and do it. So you just go back again, right, and do it again. You know, what's the point? It's just became a mirror, right? It just became the same. You just stopped the inevitable of what was going to happen anyway, right? It makes me mad, right? And the other thing is crit. Now, they got rid of, I don't know if many of you know, but there used to be a mechanic in the game called dodge, right? And it was stupid OP, so you could just fill, they were the most expensive runes in the game, and you can just fill your rune mastery page with dodge. And there were champions that had dodge, like I think Severe had dodge, and Jax had dodge, which is why they had to change him with his E. And you could just, I used to know somebody who played Master E, and he just filled his whole rune page up with dodge runes. And he wrecked, right? Because no one could hit him, right? And it was a chance thing. I think with full dodge runes, you could get up to 35% dodge. So you had a 35% chance of taking no damage, right? And it was just stupid, right? And they got rid of it because, rightfully so, it was stupid, right? But crit is still in the game. They've tried to make crit more reliable by giving champions, 100% crit when this happens, right? Which is how it's meant to be. I don't think there should be a chance of critting. Right? It's not a game of chance, League of Legends. It's not a game of chance. It's a competitive game, right? And when you still have people that just build, they have a rune page and they still just have that one crit there, and if that crit gets you right in lane, you're fucked. I mean, there is a 1 in 100 chance that that's going to happen, but that's still a 1 in 100 chance, right? And you can get wrecked because of it. Right, I just don't think it's fair. Still having a percentage mechanic in a game like that is silly. It's dumb. And I hope they have a lot of champions right now, but I hope slowly they outmode it, right, somehow. They tried it with Yasuo. So Yasuo's pretty much got 100% crit the more he goes into the game. But he's really squishy. Jhin, he has crit on his 4th attack, his 4th bullet. Ashe can't crit, but Ashe can't crit, but if she hits you with a slow, she then does additional damage, right? And it goes up based on your crit multiplier. See, that kind of stuff is cool. I like that, because there isn't a chance to it. It's you have to set shit up and then do it, right? But with a 1% crit rune, right, and that randomly hitting you and then hitting you for 300, 400 damage at level 1, right, it's just, it just annoys me that there is a percentage mechanic like that in the game. But my last con is not being able to vote kick trolls in champion select. Sometimes you get trolls. We're in silver, which is near bronze, and there are a lot of trolls in bronze, and in fact there's trolls in every league, I imagine, right? But I think it's really silly when a guy, if a guy doesn't get what he wants, he just say, okay, well, I'm gonna go Teemo support then, right? It's if he mains Teemo support, then that's fair enough, right? But if he does it as a troll, then it's that's not cool. Then we have to play with this Teemo support who hates us all, and it's we can't do anything about it. There should be a vote kicking system. I know how that can be exploited, right? But if they don't need to even be punished by it, just vote kick them, right? And then just let them go into another game. Just get them out of our game. Get them out of the game that people want to actually have fun in. People actually want to play in. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on that. Alright, so I've said all the cons and I went on for a long time about that, but now my pros of the game, the things I really like about the game, and this season. So the thing I love about this season is the versatility of builds. Now, I said it earlier, I love that I can go volley tank if I'm not doing great, right, and still do damage, right, if I play, well, right, but I also love that I can go full damage volley, right, and still wreck, right. I love that I can go ZZ Rot on Malzahar. I love that I can go ZZ Rot on Vel'Koz. I love that there's an item that just gives you a free slow, pretty much, with the Spell Thief's Edge. I always complain about that item, but I still like the item. I like the cull item. Just recently, I've started this experimental thing with my mid laners of, after getting 450 gold, I would get a cull, right? Because you're going to be getting 100 unless you're being camped, right? You're going to be getting 100 minions quite quickly, right, with the cull, and that's 350 extra gold for you, and then the sell, right? And it's really gold efficient, right? So what I tend to do is I get a Doran's ring or a Frost Queen's Claim, right, and then I get a cull after the first few waves, right, or the first kill, whatever. I do really love the versatility. I can go anywhere right now. I think the only one, because even ADs, I'd say supports. Supports are probably the weakest right now. I mean, supports have been quite weak for a long time because they're not meant to be the carries. The supports can carry. I mean, I've carried on a Soraka before. I know, ridiculous, but you probably don't believe me, but I did carry once on a Soraka. They don't have many ways to carry, and even if they do, it's ways that people don't generally listen to in low elo, or don't use in low elo. Like getting wards, getting those free wards. Spell Thief's Edge is really good on supports, but I'd hardly ever see it on supports now. This elo. Yeah, but all the other roles are really good right now. Like AD carries, they can build tanky against assassins finally if they want to. Top lanes are finally carrying again like they were in season 2. Mid laners still do just a shitload of damage, between mid game and late game. And junglers is probably the biggest carry role of them all. If I lose a game, I really blame myself, right, if I'm jungling, because even if I do well at the beginning, I should be trying to help my team. I mean, I can't be everywhere. There are some games where you just can't be in every lane, right, to help them, right? And if I can't do that, then I tend to go and counter jungle. But, I do consider the jungle role as the carry role this season. The other thing I like about this season is the Rift Herald Dragon choice, the decision you have to make between them both. Because if you are in a game, I know this is a low elo, but if you are in a game with like semi-competent people, right, and they're warding, you have to make the decision whether to go for Dragon or Herald. And it's really cool because because I love trying to outsmart the other team. So if I go down bot, they're like, and I'm jungling, they'll be like, oh, he's trying to get Dragon, and I'll just sit around there and I'll just tell my top, my top and my mid to get the Herald, right? And they're like, oh, okay, because now I'm taking all the attention from, that lane. But the thing is, you've also got to try and figure out if the team you're against is actually that smart. Sometimes they just won't be and they'll just stay there, right, which means it can make it difficult. If they have warded, right, the Rift Herald or the Dragon, then it makes it pretty hard to actually do that. But I still like the decision. I still like it being there. It means that not the whole map, before 20 minutes the whole map isn't centered on the bot lane, which is why AD carries can kind of, they're not kind of focused anymore. They're, because everybody's not trying to get the Dragon. They have to look at two sides of the map instead. I really like that. Another thing, I know I spent a long time complaining about it earlier, but the new champion select, I love it. Right? I love that you can choose. I love that you can choose what you want. I love that there's two ways. I love that there's two roles. I would prefer it if there was a fill but not this role option, because there's just some roles that people just can't play. I can pretty much play any role. I'm not great at top, but I'm proficient. I guess. But I do love the champ select, that there is a choice there, you know, and you can have what basically you want. But the only thing I don't like, in, you know, as I said in the cons, is how long the champion select is, and you know, and the notifications. The other thing is the quality of life changes. I really like the in-game. I love the search bar, the search function in the shop, which I use very often. I love that you know, there is just no excuse for not having wards now. Absolute no excuse, right? One tactic that I've been trying to enforce on people, right? Enforce, that sounds really aggressive. One thing I've been trying to suggest to people in ranked games is everyone buys a pink ward. Like, if you can afford a pink ward, buy a pink ward, right, and stick it somewhere in our jungle that's not being covered. Everyone. Can you imagine 5 people, pink ward in our jungle? Complete vision of our jungle, right? Because a new favorite mine, because of the carry jungling, a new favorite my place to put pink wards right now is the bush that's right next to the Razorbeaks, or the, you know, what used to be the Wraiths. I love that place to put pinks, because what it tends to do is you always see, like, if they're trying to invade you, you always see if they're trying to go to bot lane, right? It's just a super good arrow, and they have to go deep to try and get it if they see it, right? And I think the most common camp that, you know, junglers tend to go for is that Razorbeak camp. So that's why that's my favorite place to put wards. There's just so many other quality of life changes in the game. Quality of life, by the way, means just basically making things easier for you as a player. I also like the way you can, when you press tab, you can just change all the positions, right? Which is really good for streaming as well, because it means that I can just look, you know, and everybody else can just look at who's in what position, you know, and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, but I just love it, and I hope they keep at it. There's a lot of other stuff that they have to sort out. Like, I don't get why jungle monsters hang around at 1 HP sometimes. Why is that? So you'll smite a jungle monster, right, and under the HP that is needed, right, and it will stick at 1 HP. That's been a thing since last year. The other thing I like is the map. Like, the new map is amazing. It looks awesome. I haven't found any issues with it. Like, I mean, no, I don't think there's any issues with it. I think they fixed the thing with the top lane fountain thing. Oh no, there is one thing I don't like about it, and that's the gates. You know, the gates in between the turrets on your base, right? For some reason, you're trying to squeeze in there. You're trying to, you know, for some reason, it's like it's an obstacle when it shouldn't be. It should be just a gate that you can just move through and the enemy can't. But it doesn't seem like that when you do it. The other thing that I like, some of my close friends know, lore is a really big thing for me. I love lore, and they're really starting to push the lore side of it. I love the visuals. I love spending like an hour reading about League of Legends lore. It's awesome, and I hope they keep up with that. It's awesome to read. I love reading. I write myself, and it's, you know, I think there's a kind of a running joke that most of the champions, before they started this pushing out the lore side of it, there was a running joke that every single champion in League of Legends has a dark and mysterious past, which is pretty much true. There wasn't really any explanation for any of the characters, and some of it just plain didn't make sense. So I'm hoping that they really push for that, because the lore is important, and for a game that is so popular right now, it really attracts people out what would be outside of the norm, to the game, you know, because I know so many people I just don't want to play MMOs, right? But the lore may change that. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is the new UI. It's about time. Like, it's been here for a while now, right? But the old UI looks so shit. I mean, some of my older videos on YouTube will have the old UI in it. It looks so bad. I didn't realize how bad it was until I look back on the videos. But the new UI looks so good. I love it. I love that you can change things around now. You can like customize it yourself. right? And it gives you plenty of room for streaming as well, because you've got, you know, because the old UI used to just fill up the whole thing, right? But this one gives you like there's 2 little blank spots there, so you can stick your face noggin and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's like a lot of other things that I could talk about over League of Legends. As I say, I've been playing this game for about 5 years now, which is crazy. And I followed almost every single professional scene with it, but I still don't get drawn into the meta picks. I mean, I will, you know, if something is stupidly strong, I'd be like, okay, either ban it or pick it, you know, such as Udyr. Udyr's always been strong, but, you know, so are a lot of champions when they're in the right hands. Trick 2G, for instance, is amazing with Volibear and Udyr, and I think both me and him have very similar playstyles. It's just he's in Diamond and I'm in Silver 4, and obviously I don't think I know as much as that guy does. Yeah. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video, the vlog. I know that a lot of you have been asking for my opinion on League of Legends. There's just a bunch of, you know, the game's really deep. There's just a bunch of other things that I can talk about. But, you know, this video's gone on long enough. Yeah, so I will, you know, as usual, I'll be streaming tonight and tomorrow and every day. Also, when we get to 3,000 followers on Twitch, I have a special giveaway to give out. We are 200 followers off. Exactly, we're at 2,800 right now. If I get 3,000 followers, I will be giving away something pretty special to the winner. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I will see you next time.